Will Keir Starmer's flip-flopping reveal his struggle with the truth? After facing criticism for his impact on Britain, Starmer sat down with Talk TV's Peter Cardwell, a conservative-leaning outlet, in a bold bid to sway conservative voters. In this video, we'll share some key interview moments where his flip-flops undermine his credibility. We will also explore the broader principle of decisive leadership. Stick around to see if Starmer's words hold up. Before we get into the details, if you love diving into political issues and enjoy hearing a principled take on them, then hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to join the conversation. It will help our channel grow.
You can act quickly and decisively when you want to. You recall Parliament, you put through legislation in a day in regard to the Scunthorpe blast furnace. You directed the police and the courts in regard to the rioters last summer. Why not direct the police, the Crown Prosecution Service, which you used to lead today, to prioritise catching gang members who have raped children? Start solving this today instead of waiting for an inquiry.
Great challenge, and that is exactly what we've done.
How much money have you given?
So the spending review puts more money towards policing, but the instruction is absolutely clear to go after these vile criminals. I've long said, grooming is an awful crime. I prosecuted the first case best part of 15 years ago. The first time there was a grooming case in our court, I took the decision to prosecute. But I know from talking to victims the impact it has. I've always said the first port of call should be a criminal investigation. Yes, there will now be a national inquiry. There has to be accountability. But for victims and survivors, the most important thing is there's a criminal investigation where there can be, and where perpetrators are convicted, they then go to prison. And that is by far the best and most important way of dealing with this vile offence.
Do you regret being against an inquiry? You said some of the people calling it were jumping on a right-wing bandwagon. Are you going to apologise for that?
Well, the people I was referring to, and I made this absolutely clear when I said it, were the politicians who had been in power and done absolutely nothing. And then as soon as they're out of power, are screaming and shouting. So Kemi Badenoch, Chris Philp, those individuals, when they were in power, did absolutely nothing. Now, I've been campaigning and working on this for 15 years, and have as many other people. Initially, we were looking at local inquiries, but I asked Louise Casey to just do an audit to assure me there wasn't more that we could do. She's done that. She's written that up. It's a pretty long report. I've read every single word of it. She's recommended a national inquiry. I accept her recommendation. That'll be a statutory inquiry. We'll get on with it. It runs alongside the criminal investigation, by the way. It's very important. It's not one or the other, because the first route should always be the criminal route, in my view, because where we've got perpetrators that are convicted, they should be in prison.
Over 40,000 illegal migrants have arrived in small boats since you've been Prime Minister. It's the worst year on record. Your approach just isn't working, is it?
We're, absolutely serious about the response to what is a serious problem. In the end, the way to deal with this is to bring down the gangs that are running this trade, and it is a trade. They're making huge amounts of money. That's why we are increasing law enforcement powers. There's a bill going through Parliament which will give counter-terrorism powers to our law enforcement, the ability to get in much earlier. We're working with international partners. I raised this in my discussions with the French president when I saw him earlier this week, with the Chancellor in Germany, with the Prime Minister of Italy, because we've got to come down even harder on these gangs. We're determined to do so. I know we've got to do more. That's why I'm working with our partners to do that, particularly in relation to law enforcement in the north of France. And that I raised directly with the French president. We're working together on this. But we are absolutely determined, with the extra powers to our law enforcement, working with our partners, and then importantly, where people do come to the country who aren't entitled to be here, processing their claims and then returning them to where they came from. And since we've been in power, 30,000 people who've no right to be in the United Kingdom have now been removed from the United Kingdom because we're processing the claims. It's the highest number for the best part of 10 years. But I accept the challenge. There's more that we've got to do.
Are you going to back President Trump if he goes to war with Iran?
Well, it's a fast-moving situation in the Middle East. And I share the concern about the nuclear program of Iran. I absolutely clear in my mind that Israel has the right to self-defence.
Prime Minister, you say what you're announcing today will help people such as families here in Staffordshire save £150 on their bills, with energy bills some of the highest in the world here in the UK. Is your policy of net zero actually just storing up price rises and energy insecurity for the future?
No, complete opposite. What we've seen is that particularly conflict adds to our energy prices. So energy prices have gone up. They're 40% higher than they were at the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The reason they've gone up is because we're in the international market, the fossil fuel market, and therefore we're impacted by the actions of others in conflict. So the long-term aim here and intention is go to renewables, which are cheaper. We have to.
Keir Starmer's track record raises serious questions about his consistency. Take his stance on Israel. One moment, he's publicly criticizing their actions. The next, he's defending their right to self-defense, leaving us wondering where he truly stands. Then there's the issue of the Grooming gang inquiry. Initially, Starmer voted against launching an investigation, only to reverse course after relentless public pressure forced his hand, a move that reeks of political opportunism rather than principle. And let's not forget the winter fuel payments for pensioners. He insisted cutting them was the right decision, only to backtrack with a U-turn when the backlash grew loud. These flip-flops don't just blur the truth, they undermine the decisive leadership voters expect from a leader. While Starmer flips on many issues, he's doubled down on Labour's net zero policy, a commitment that has led the UK facing some of the highest electricity bills in the world. This unwavering stance raises questions. Is it decisive leadership or a refusal to adapt when the costs hit British household hard? What makes a truly great leader? They are decisive, standing firm with a clear yes or no that people can trust. They don't waver under pressure or shift with the wind. They are consistent, reliable, and grounded in principle. Inconsistent leadership breeds uncertainty, eroding confidence in a nation. People are seeking leaders whose actions match their words, inspiring stability and trust in any challenging time. When a leader knows the right things to do, but it conflicts with their preferred ideology, cognitive dissonance arises. This internal conflict causes them to hesitate or act unpredictably, frustrating the public and hindering the advancement of the country. But great leaders don't just talk, they deliver with clear decisions and steady actions that build trust and strengthen a nation. So let's call for leadership that's decisive, consistent, and reliable, inspiring confidence and driving a brighter future. What qualities do you value most in a leader? Share your thoughts in the comment. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.